Of course. Now, the irony here is that the only thing that's not excluded from these tariff exemptions is gaming consoles. So for all those gamers out there, unless you're PC master race, in which case, like, you'll probably still be hit by these tariffs to a certain degree. Yeah, remember when I talked to you guys about the Chinese peasants comment and how that was going to cause so much commotion in China? Very few comments by U.S. officials in the past few years have radicalized the Chinese people against the U.S. as much as J.D. Vance's Chinese peasants. Why would he say this? It doesn't help with anything.
To Shenzhen by train. Right now I'm in...
Yeah. It quite literally is an invective humiliation shit. China at this stage has overcome exactly that. And the very fact, as soon as I heard him say they're peasants, as soon as I heard JD Vance say, call the Chinese peasants, I told you that this was going to extend, or at least, at the very least, it was going to cause the Chinese population to be significantly more, it was going to cause the Chinese population to be more angry towards JD Vance. It was also going to cause them to hold strong against American action.
China, and I'm going to Shenzhen by train, so I've forgotten my phone and I want to get something from the store. So I'm at 7-Eleven, so I'm going to pick up the sparkling water. And what's very interesting is they actually have, so I'm going to scan it. They actually have WeChat Palm Pay. So that's my WeChat ID. That's my WeChat ID, and I just paid without having my cards or my wallet on me or my phone, which is pretty crazy, mind-blowing. You don't have to take anything with you when you like go and travel. So that's the beauty of China. It just shows how ahead China is in terms of technology.
I've seen so many goddamn TikToks. I have seen so many TikToks about Chinese people being like, I'm a peasant. F you. Yeah. Hasan, I got called old because I didn't like the beat selection on Ken Carson's album. I'm turning 24. Yeah, you're 1 foot out the door, little bro. It's over for you, I think. There's hundreds of these videos going around. They're all very viral, too. The Chinese won't let Xi take the foot off Trump's neck. Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, it does not matter. They are going to... Xi is going to do what Xi's going to do. You know what I mean? And in terms of maintaining global stability, trade stability especially, which is something that benefits China as it stands and something that China wants to maintain, this is the reason why I say, like, after showing the world a lesson, showing the global leaders that are paying close attention to what's going on right now and the dangerous instability, he's going to turn around and offer, like I said, an olive branch to the Trump administration. The Trump administration will take that olive branch. Everyone who's actually smart will recognize exactly what took place. But of course, we are surrounded by incredible dumbasses. So all of those dumbasses will turn around and go, oh my God, he did it. He did it. He did it. He is the mad lad. He f***ing did it. He is... Trump is the mad lad. He actually made China back down. Also, one of my favorite things is like the people that like Donald Trump, but also like BRICS. Like a lot of these like BRICS guys also are pro-Trump, weirdly enough. And I don't know how that happened. And, but these accounts posting like these signs are popping up all over China. These Chinese peasants are killing me with their wicked sense of humor. Starting from today, our store will charge 104% service fee to American customers. If you have any questions, please consult the U.S. Embassy. After being brought up in a China-hating country, it's very hard to swallow. They're not the big evil guys. I mean, it doesn't matter. The world is not run by the people that have these opinions. The world is run by people who will still recognize when, you know, the American government is the one who's causing the instability and the Chinese government is the one that's maintaining global stability. So it doesn't matter. Anyway, this is... Like, this kind of stuff is just this is a little bit reactionary. Like, I already hate AI art. And this is not to be the friend who's too woke or whatever, but like this kind of stuff is a little bit reactionary, where they're just like, oh yeah, you fat fentanyl addicted Americans, like good luck making these chips. Now, the reality of the matter is we can't make these chips. Okay. These are incredibly, the manufacturing process for this stuff is so insanely high tech. It is not something that you can put together overnight. You have to have you have to have a shit ton of training. Okay. It is still, of course, better than let's the Three Gorgeous Dam posting, which is what a lot of the Americans have been doing, which I talked about as well. It's something that I've been seeing on my timeline quite a bit, and it's been very frustrating, very annoying. Hey, Fiona, stop. The bag is over there. Here. The bag is over there. Some of the batteries are being charged next to the marches here, guys. Some of the batteries, so I'm still charging it. But some of the batteries are being charged next to the couch. And Kitchen Island is where the camera is. Also, there's a camera bag there as well. We can get a smaller camera backpack to bring with us if you want. And there's the bag, so you just like start putting it together, I guess, and hopefully this will charge even more. But if we need, we have extra big batteries as well. I have them charged up as well. The big boys we can use today, since we're not flying or anything. I do think it's kind of funny, because if Trump was able to achieve his desires and his wishes, like let's say America was able to build the industrial base necessary to become go from a consumption economy to a production economy, right? Let's say they were able to do that. You would literally have a situation similar to this. You would have these guys sitting on the factory floor making stuff for India and China. Like, could you imagine the role reversal? Like, that's not going to happen. It's so stupid. New dog alert. Kaya, what happened? Yeah, I traded Kaya for this other dog. My brother's dog, chat. How do you guys not know this already? No bags allowed today. I don't know if that'll apply to you. I think I'll be fine. Anyway, we do not know how to make iPhones. We do not have the capacity to make iPhones. We just don't have the factories to make iPhones. We just don't know. We don't have anything. Like, it's just so stupid. But yeah, if you want to understand like something that I've been talking about for the past couple of days, maybe if you weren't watching me, you might be confused today. You might be going, Hasan, I'm an Asmongold head. I watch Asmongold every day. And he keeps telling me these are brilliant moves that the Trump administration is making. But I found myself briefly coming over to your broadcast for a moment. And you're saying a lot of interesting stuff here. And I'm a little confused, right? I'm a little confused as to what is going on. Why did Trump make exemptions for the phones and chips? On the one hand, Trump said tariffs are good, and I celebrated that because Asmongold celebrated that the tariffs are good, and America is going to be a rapidly growing industrial economy. That's what I was thinking of. And then he turned around and he said, okay, no more tariffs. We're doing a pause on tariffs. So I was a little confused then, because then everybody started saying, art of the deal, art of the deal. Donald Trump did it again. But now he's caving without getting a single phone call from Xi Jinping on some of these tariffs that were supposed to happen for phones, computers, and chips. What the hell's going on, Hasan? Well, if you were watching me for the past couple of weeks, or maybe the past year or so, I would have told you that this is exactly what was going to happen, because America is nothing if it's not, America is nothing if it can't protect the bottom line of capitalist corporations, and America is nothing if it can't offer cheap consumer goods to its base. It's nothing. That is the only thing holding the social contract together. And Donald Trump, as I've said already, basically destroyed that. He tried to, in the words of Felix Biederman, he molested the money. That's what Felix calls this, you know? He just put his grubby little hands on it and he molested the money a little bit. Okay? He had a moment of money molestation, and then they were like, you can't molest the money any longer. Jamie Dimon made a boss call and was like, no, no, no. But then he still has some of his fingers in it. And then I guess Tim Apple made the boss call as well. And he was like, no, no, no. So what is? It's fine. It's a little spiky, so it's weird. Yeah, I don't like that it's spiky. We're trying to make a like an impromptu mic right now. But yeah, the treats must flow and the money must flow. And Donald Trump tried to f up the bag that way for both sides, and it's not going to work.
Back today with a 125% tariff on all U.S. goods sold in China. This comes after President Trump placed a 145% tariff on Chinese imports.
Can I squirt breast milk on you today at the rally? Dude, some of y'all, I know you're joking, but some of y'all really make me not want to go outside, bro. Like, please just fucking calm down, all right? Jesus, Lord, mercy on my soul, dude. Oh my God. It's like, I want to say touch grass, but you literally want to touch grass in this situation and you want to spray me with titty milk? I don't want that. Nobody wants that. Please be normal.
And now we're learning of a possible reprieve on certain products. ABC News senior White House correspondent Selena Wang has the latest from Washington.
Hey, Ike, as the U.S.-China trade war heats up, the Trump administration is exempting smartphones, laptops, and other electronics from his...
So I want of an Asmangoldian, you know what I mean? Asmangoldian, a fan of Asmongold. In this very moment, do you feel like Donald Trump still got the big dick? Is he still doing the thing? Is he still hitting the fucking red button over and over again? What happened? How did he buckle? Like, what is a guy who is only getting beamed right-wing commentary to his fucking frontal lobe? What does that guy think at this moment? They're called Asmonglers, by the way. No fucking way he calls the fans Asmongoldians. No, I do that. There's also another thing that people call his fans, but I don't want to say it because it's a little bit, you know, it's ableist.
Reciprocal tariffs. That's according to a bulletin posted by U.S. Customs Border Protection late Friday night. Now, those exemptions also include solar cells, flat panel TV displays, flash drives, computer processors, memory chips, and semiconductor-based storage devices. So this is some relief for big tech companies like Apple, which relies on China to assemble the iPhone. UBS had estimated that the cost of the new iPhone 16 Pro Max could jump by $950 under the 145% tariffs that Trump has imposed on all goods from China. And right now, there appears to be no end in sight for the U.S.-China trade war. China has imposed 125% tariffs on American goods, and those steep tariffs go into effect today. The White House has said that there currently are no negotiations happening between the U.S. and China. Now, this trade war is painful for both countries. Last year, the U.S. imported $440 billion worth of goods from China, everything from toys, clothes to...
Wait a minute. Wait, hold on. Lutnick 5 days ago said smartphone manufacturing was coming to the U.S. because of tariffs. Brennan, you've said that robots are going to fill those jobs. Lutnick's is automated factories. The armies of millions and millions of human beings screwing in little screws to make iPhones. That kind of thing is going to come to America. It's going to be automated. U.S. publishes tariff exclusions for specified products. U.S. tariff exclusions apply to computer smartphones. U.S. tariff exclusions also apply to chip-making equipment. Tariff exclusions apply to so-called reciprocal tariffs. Trump exempts phones, computer chips from reciprocal tariffs. What happened? Yeah, as soon as Donald Trump said this, go back. What did I tell you? As soon as Donald Trump said this, what did I say? When I was reacting to it live, I was like, oh, he's just going to start doing, he's going to do tariff exclusions to companies that come in and kiss the ring. And he's going to do it for basically all of the shit that we get from China anyway. Okay. As soon as he said, yep, I'm looking at exemptions, I was like, yep, of course he is. He's going to fold like a goddamn picnic chair. Okay. Of course. Now, the irony here is that the only thing that's not excluded from these tariff exemptions is fucking gaming consoles. So for all those gamers out there, you're cooked. Unless you're PC master race, in which case, like, you'll probably still be hit by these tariffs to a certain degree. But you know, art of the deal, baby. You're still cooked. If you want a PlayStation or a Switch or whatever, you're still getting shellacked. But if China doesn't make exemptions to agriculture, won't that break the backs of farmers? Yeah, of course. China already rerouted soy from Brazil instead. They immediately were like, okay, we'll go to Brazil for soy then. Good luck. Have fun. So now, because Donald Trump decided to nuke global trade because he was fucking bored and molest the money a little bit, the only thing that's happening in the process is they're going to have to heavily subsidize the farmers even further in an effort to weather the storm. Okay. That's number one. Number two, China has already moved in the direction of rerouting some of their trade. They're making deals with the European market. China never even needed American soy. They were only buying American soy because of the deal they made with the U.S. in the first trade war. I know that. I know. I just had breakfast with my Republican dad, and he full on believes that Trump has the best interest of the average American in mind. I just couldn't help but look at him in amazement. Yes, man. Jews for Hasan. We got it. Calm down. Okay. Jesus Christ. Also, what is this? Jew 221? Thank you. Thank you for your support. Okay. Stop spamming. Also, for this exclusion, they're making it go into effect from imports since April 5th. So if tech companies already paid for the duties, they'll have to be refunded. Oh, don't worry. They haven't paid for the duties. You want to know why? Because the fucking tariff collection system mysteriously broke. So they haven't even collected any of the tariffs anyway. That's right. So they couldn't even collect the tariffs. We covered this yesterday. Anyway, good news for U.S. consumers that President Trump has now exempted imports of smartphones, computers, hard drives, computer processor, memory chips from reciprocal tariffs, so they don't face a 10% global tariff or the extra 125% on China. It's also a win for Apple and Nvidia, etc. But you have to wonder, why didn't this exemption exist on April 2nd? Did the Trump team truly not know how reliant the U.S. is on China for popular electronics? U.S. depended on China for smartphones and game consoles. Top 10 U.S. imports from China by value in 2024. 86% of game consoles, 79% of PC monitors, 76% of toys, 73% of smartphones, 70% of lithium-ion batteries, 66% of laptops, 38% of plastic products, 14% of wireless headphones, 9% of computer parts, and 7%. Incredible stuff. Brilliant move, sir. They refunded it too if they'd have collected any. It's retroactive. Yeah. So why did we do any of this? And does this spell confidence for the market watchers? Because it's still, they're just chipping away slowly but surely. This is turning into Trump 1 real quick. Okay? Trump 2 was supposed to be different. This man was on a mission. He was vindictive. He was going to punish everyone that told him no. Okay? He was going to tell all the money guys, fuck you, I'm doing my thing. Okay? For no reason whatsoever. Okay? For no seeming... no real reason at all. Okay. But it turns out he is still listening to the money guys. They're still telling him, like, you can't do that, sir. You can't do that, sir. And he's backing away like a baby. So what happened? What happened? Here's Charles Gasparino breaking. It's a classic news management for Trump and co. to announce a so-called Apple carve-out, no tariffs on electronics, late Friday, when the news of the week is done. But make no mistake, this is another sign of a tactical retreat from the White House's initial tariff strategy, which nearly led to a 2008-style market meltdown. I hate using the term layman moment, which gets thrown around so much, it's cliched and not very descriptive. Layman in the banking collapse involved private sector folly of irrational exuberance involving housing. This moment was created by massive amounts of debt, our dependence on foreigners, even adversaries, to keep buying it, and the government doing a U-turn on global trading relationships, which needed fixing, not destroying. Like, the system has been going on this way, and America being the global reserve currency maintains the system's stability. Donald Trump weirdly wanted to get everyone involved and everyone to pay penance, while simultaneously they already are paying penance structurally by being... What? Oh, now he went from Jews for Hasan to Netanyahu. Heart eyes. Aw. Okay, dude. Well, eat this band then. Suck my dick. So is he doing all this tariff so that 1% can pump and dump and get rich fast? No, I don't. The 1% is going to pump and dump and get rich fast no matter what he does. Okay. That is secondary. The primary goal here is Donald Trump enforcing his agenda and seeing the people's appetite or willingness to be able to. That dude was trying to bait anti-Semitism. I think so. Yeah. RIP clip farmed. Wait, what do you mean? If you throw Netanyahu hard eyes, I will fucking ban you. What the fuck? It's like saying W Hitler in this chat. You know what I mean? I'm gonna fucking ban you. Like, get the fuck out of here. So where's the liberation? Where's the liberation? Where's the liberation that's happening?
Electronics, those reciprocal tariffs, those are going to hurt American farmers. China buys more soybeans from the U.S. than any other country. All of this is hurting small businesses as well, not just consumers that could face those higher prices. I visited a toy store in Virginia, and the owner told me that virtually everything she sells in her store is either made in China or made with parts from China. Ike?
Selena Wang, thank you.
More executive actions from President Trump.
Liberated, all right.
Late last night, the president authorized the military to take control of federal lands along the U.S.-Mexico border to bolster immigration enforcement.
Ready to go?
The memo directs the Defense Department to use the military to take steps to secure the border, including construction of a border barrier. It comes as the White House is set to begin new nuclear negotiations with Iran and work out trade deals with dozens of countries during a 90-day pause on tariffs. Willie James Inman is traveling with the president in Florida. Willie, good morning.
My stepdad lost 20K of his 401k since this shit popped off. RIP, dude. It's fine. He's liberated from the joys of retiring at a reasonable pace, you know? It's good. Work is good, right? It sets you free, or whatever people say.
Good morning to you, Michelle. Following a week of market turmoil, the White House is pushing ahead with its plan for punishing tariffs on Chinese goods with no end in sight and with negotiations up in the air.
The White House says the president is optimistic about a potential deal after Beijing slapped 125% tariffs on America.
Look at this cope. Trump showed his pain point in his standoff with China. Xi Jinping, who rules with absolute authority, has shown he's willing to let the Chinese people endure hardship. President Trump revealed he has limits. Dude, what are we? Look at this cope, dude. Look at this fucking cope from the New York Times. It's like, well, I guess we can't go to war with China because they're too authoritarian. Yeah, that's the reason. That's what it is, for sure. Yeah, President Xi can just like... Donald Trump tries to nuke the global economy for no reason, and it's still actually liberals are still trying to uphold the almighty market system that we have designed here. Okay, it's so unimaginably stupid. This is not informing the population. This is misinforming the population. What is the goal here? What an embarrassing copium moment from the New York Times. Like, do your fucking job, man. Educate the people. Educate the people. You don't even like Trump. Why? But of course, there's a higher priority here. I'll give you an analog, okay? The analog here is kind of like all the fucking weird, like, Groyper drama accounts, Keemstar adjacent drama YouTube accounts that fucking despise Ethan Klein, right? For years and years, they've shit on him. But the one time Ethan Klein has a different enemy, there's a higher order of priority. They hate me more than they hate Ethan. So when Ethan is attacking me, they love Ethan Klein. This is the same principle with the New York Times. They hate Donald Trump, but you know who they hate more than Donald Trump? China. So when Donald Trump is fighting against China, liberals have to find a way to just make sense of this. To say like, well, the American systems are actually really, really good. It's just that we're too liberal and love democracy too much. And Donald Trump loves democracy too much. That's why there's no way for Donald Trump to be able to compete against China. It's just the weak point of democracy. It's awesome. Except the lesson to be learned from this then for the Trump world is what? To be more like to be more authoritarian, I guess. I asked my aunt about it and she said, we're used to trade 1 kilo of white flour for 2 kilos of coarse flour just to feed the family. This is nothing. Yeah. This was part of your 2025 predictions. Liberals will support Trump in the direction of his China stances. Oh my God. I did make that prediction, but I guess it's the easiest prediction of all time when you think about it. Like, Donald Trump is out here already whipping every law firm into shape so they can offer pro bono work as they, like, I don't know, go after random immigrants, right? go after random immigrants for the crime of hurting the feelings of the state of Israel, a foreign nation, and to make sure that they don't actually fight back against this administration as it desperately claws constitutional powers away, as it rips apart the Constitution. Okay, and in that process, we're like, you know what the problem is? Trump is too democratic. Yeah, okay, don't worry, he'll show you. He'll show you.
American exports in retaliation for a 145% rate on Chinese goods set by the U.S.
I'm very comfortable now, but I've always gotten along well with President Xi. We had a good relationship, very good, and I think something positive is going to come out.
The trade tensions between the U.S. and its trading partners sent the stock market into a spiral this week. Stocks briefly recovered after the White House announced a pause on retaliatory tariffs, but markets spiraled again after the Trump administration clarified tariffs on some Chinese goods would be 145%. All three indexes ended the week in the green on Friday. The uncertainty with trade hitting Main Street businesses hard.
Fertilizer, fuel, herbicides, machinery, all have gone up.
Some business owners who source their products from China worry they may have to increase prices.
We have a merchandise line, and a lot of components of that merchandise comes from China. And so we're really trying to figure it out. We don't want to have to significantly increase our prices.
The White House says at least 75 nations have come to the table for negotiations, and that 15 of those have already submitted offers.
We can set the tariff, or we can do it a number of different ways, but that seems to be appropriate. And they can pay it or negotiate it, or they can not pay it.
The progress to strike deals with other nations may not be enough to cool nervous investors and business owners.
I think the market was overall oversold, and we're going to have some of these relief rallies from time to time, but a whole bunch of uncertainty in all the sessions in between.
Today marks the start of what the White House is calling direct negotiations with Iran for a new nuclear agreement. And those conversations are taking place in Oman, with that nation acting as the intermediary between U.S. and Iranian officials. Dana?
All right, Willie, thank you.
And to respond to the Supreme Court ruling and the other courts about the gentleman who was from Maryland who was put in the El Salvador prison.
Is that the one that was not Tren de Araqua, but he was MS-13?
Just the one that they've said needs to come back.
No, but was he MS-13? Because I only know by that. I mean, I don't know which one. But if the Supreme Court said bring somebody back, I would do that. I respect the Supreme Court.
And the lower court judge as well. He's been asking for daily updates.
I'm not talking about the lower. I have great respect for the Supreme Court. So I'm not totally well versed as to the specific case.